Hello, my friends! Before my expedition to Dallas, I had made several presentations of my show paintings, The Gate of Light, which gave me the false impression that my artistic career was on the rise. At the beginning of 1984, I participated in Chapiteaux Inspirés at the Carré de Sylvia Montfort, Port Brancion. This great lady of the theatre and also of the resistance during the war. I had known her when she set up the first theatre in front of what was going to be the Picasso Museum in the Marais district. As it lacked financial means, the scenographic architect who had designed it, Michel D., a former director of the Beaux-Arts Festival and a neighbor when I lived on Rue de Commandant Mouchotte in Montparnasse, had asked me to come and help them, as he had done when he had set up Le Café de la Gare of Romain Bouteille on Rue du Temple, where I had met Coluche, Gérard Depardieu and Patrick Devers when they first started out. The inaugural performance of the first carré was a musical entitled Red Buddha by Japanese musician Stomu Yamashita. Several months later, I presented photos of my paintings to the artistic director of Barclay Records in the event that he bought them from me. He took one from me, and hold on, it was for Stomu Yamashita's records. Also, he didn't know I had met him before. For Chapiteaux Inspirés, I realized a painting named Cosmic Circus. In order to animate it, Sylvia recommended me to one of her friends, Alexis Grus, the famous horse trainer. He received me very warmly in his large caravan and offered me a selection of the best circus music. At the same time as this presentation, a famous Catalan anarchist singer, Paco Ibáñez, was giving a concert, and I was happy to meet him again after our meeting in Cadaqués long before. Then I was invited to participate in the Nuit de la Chanson Française in Aix-en-Provence, thanks to Iris Clare, who had met the organizers during the beautiful presentation of the FIAC. There were supposed to be 7 performances, but a truckers' strike prevented the expected Marseillaise audience from coming, and all performances had to be cancelled after the premiere, where there were only half of the spectators, many invited. The painting represented a gigantic styl's eyes and felt the entire cinema screen in front of which it hung when the light spurted from the side at moments of high musical intensity. On this occasion, I met several young singers, more or less known, and especially one who stood out from the crowd and who was going to make people talk about her, Jeanne Masse. Then I presented this painting at the American College, where it was a great success. I had to make my first speech after the show, and in English. I was very surprised when the students told me that they understood me despite my accent and grammatical mistakes. One of the artist's agents, Eric Lekim, whom I had met in Aix-en-Provence, proposed me to participate in a big show in the arenas of Béziers. A symphony orchestra would perform there with the woman who had been his first violin, Catherine Lara. She hadn't deigned to see my painting during the setting up. And during the show, when I offered her to look at it, she said to me, "It's all right, you can leave it." She was not very sympathetic. In October 1985, I made a very beautiful exhibition of my small painting, which had invested the room of the Poisson d'Or in Lyon. The space was illuminated only by the luminous animations produced by the music played by the quartet. There was only one small painting, but it became very large when the light came from the sides. In 1986, one of my neighbors, director of a space in the 20th arrondissement, the Eden Theatre, visited me to discover my creations. He proposed me to present the Gate of Light, and we agreed to put on a real show for about 10 days. I built speakers to get a better sound. At that time, because of the problem related to the artist's property, if I wanted to use non-music, I started thinking about creating original music. I had made an interesting experiment. I had gone out of my house with a cassette recorder and recorded the sound of the subway to the East Station and back. Then, when I got home, I had played it back by turning on the electronic paintings with spectators. The spectators, because of the play of light, forgot that it was noise and talked to me about the music they had just heard and seen. This experience gave me the idea of creating music with sounds that I went to record in my father's workshop, at the Forum des Halles, at the Sacré-Cœur, in the street of my way home, in the metro, in the forest of Saint-Germain-en-Laye, etc. And I went as far as Belle-Île-en-Mer, where I was told there was a remarkable sound in a certain cave. In fact, when I got there was a heavy storm, and I had to content myself with recording my steps coming out of the sea. I put this recording together in a scenario where I even integrated the Dreammaker songs that were still in their early stages. I called this show Star. As an introduction, I asked Karl Schlosser and Serge Adam to compose music for me from Thus Spoke Zarathustra and other pieces. I had met them at the IRCP when they were conducting a jazzy band, What's Up Doctor. There were about 10 performances, but unfortunately, as in many shows, there were not as many spectators as we would have liked. One evening, a group of Africans had come, and after the show, they were stuck to their seats for a very long time. When they finally came out, without words, our eyes met, and we understood each other. I said in the Dallas podcast that the painting representing the state of Texas was premonitory. In the center, it was a city, Eden, and the show took place at the Eden Theatre. When I called the show Star, I don't think of the central star of the painting, but to an indefinite person. Karl Schlosser, who had composed the introductory music, looked a lot like James Dean. That's what everyone had told him when he went to play in New York with Claude Berling's big band. Premonitory, because the show was the forerunner of the kaleidoscope or cinema paintings that would make much later with the same theme that imposed itself without my being aware of it. It was the first time I tried a show with an underlying spiritual dimension and made Dreammaker appear toward the end. It is impossible to tell Star in a few words, but here are the titles of the various passages that give a small glimpse of it. The wall, Symphony Subway, the sidewalk, the home, the passage, the ocean, the magic forest. On the other side, the inner temple, the sacred mountain, the celestial storm. Most of this opera of light consisted of raw sounds, but gradually I inserted musical parts that I had asked various musicians to compose and recorded myself. I'm going to make you listen to the final, the celestial storm, with the strange and feminine voices of Dreammaker seeming to come from another world. At that time, I was still singing quite a bit. It was mostly the other members of the group who sang after I had given them the energy I mentioned earlier.